Hello everyone, it's Oggy back again with another video. Hope everyone's been doing well, and I thought I'd go and have a go at making some money off this hobby instead of pouring it constantly into the tank. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to the tank and have a look at some of the Zoa colonies that might be a little bit more valuable and that have grown a fair bit. And we might do some cutting and glue into the frag pods, depending on how this goes. So as you can see, the black galaxies and rainbow incinerators are doing quite well. I'm not quite sure if I want to harvest on them just quite yet. And my Art of Chaos are doing really good, so I might go take a quick clipping from there. Especially this little one at the bottom looks pretty cool. And we come over to the top. I've got a plethora of rainbow incinerators. And I forgot what these red corals are called back here. But I'm going to go ahead and pull the flow and let's have a better look. So I'll probably just put the name in the description. Over here are a bunch of kamikazes that I can cut up. And down there are some KO Nightmares, I do believe. They're like a really nice coral next to my pink zippers there. So I'm going to go ahead and probably take a quick cutting of them. And let's do that. I don't know how well this comes up on the camera because this is quite blue. But as you can see, I've actually just gone ahead and paid off all these corals. Just get a better angle. There we go. I've just gone and pissed off all these corals to close them up. And then because these are attached to my rock, they're a lot harder to get off than what you normally would on a frag plug. So what I do is I look for bits like this. I don't know if you can see that. So these little connection bits there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take a razor blade. I've got a really sharp razor blade. And go ahead and cut between the mouths. And that will be our first frag. So once I go ahead and done that, I normally use some cyanoacrylate. So this is Gorilla Glue. And always make sure you're wearing gloves, eye protection, and make sure you don't get any of this stuff in your mouth. The zoanthid venom, that is, or poison. So I'm going to go ahead and put a dab of super glue on here. I'm just going to put it right in the center of the frag plug. And that right there is my first frag of petroglyph zoanthid. Still open, crazy, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in the tank. I'm going to let that cure, so I'm just going to dip it in some salt water and let it grow. So on a note when doing this is to make sure that you're running carbon, because I've just literally released poison essentially into the fish tank, paleotoxin. So be very careful with this and be aware it can negatively affect your system. So be very careful when you're handling zoanthids. So another good tip is if you can take the actual whole entire rock out of the fish tank, that's actually probably a much better idea and make your fish tank a lot happier. But I'm just going to go ahead and do quite a large water change right after this to hopefully negate the negative effects. Now generally if I do want to frag coral, which I have been just getting inclined to do lately, I'll leave little chunks of frag plug around glued next to it, so therefore it grows onto it and then I can just pull that chunk off. Cutting these out of the tank can sometimes be damn near impossible, and then I make sure I've got a container here ready to go to put my frags into. So I'm kind of getting a change of heart as I do this. I might actually just start growing these out. I'm not sure. I need to save a bit of money and then start a frag system. Maybe I'll just go ahead and sell a couple of frags and see how we go from there. So again, like I said, I've just disconnected the connections between these little pieces of rubber rock that I have. The zoas I've grown into. And I pulled them off the rock. That's the easiest way to make the frag. Apart from that, that's pretty much it. Just got to find a place in the sand bed to let them heal and then put them online for sale. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that water change like I said I would. And this is what I mean by putting little frag plugs in into spots where the zoas are going to grow. And then from there I can just pluck those little, cut the connections, whatever grows on there. And then cut the little, and just pull the little plugs out, sorry, and then I've got a new little zoa frag ready to go. And that's the easiest way I found personally to frag zoas. Now down there, these were just cut like 2 minutes ago. Give me 2 seconds to go put the orange filter on. So it's lights out here. I don't really want to mess with the auto control, but as you can see, sorry about the blueness that is, the petroglyph frag, the mystery frag, whose name I don't remember, sorry about that. The one behind it that is currently closed up because of the hermit crabbers harassing it. And the kamikaze frag are already opened up, which is just absolutely crazy. Now I'm doing the water change just like I said I would. And as you can see, like even the colonies that I took from, you can see where the plugs are still open, which is amazing. Only the corals, the zoas that you actually cut directly are the ones that are affected. The rest of the tank looks pretty good, except for my toadstools and my leather back there a bit peed off because I've just gone ahead and exposed them to air. Like I said, make sure you're running carbon to pick up the paleotoxins. So now the corals have all been cut and I've placed new plugs in the places I suspect the zoas to grow again, so I can refrag from the same spot. The water change has been done and the frags are back in the tank. I'm in a very, very happy place. And the tank already looks really good, even though it's only been about 15 minutes. Generally, if something negative was to happen, it would have happened quite quickly. But as you can see, all the zoas stayed open. Even the ones that I tried to take cuttings from, the whole colony stayed open. The only ones that closed up are the ones that I tried to forcibly peel off the rock, and I might have just damaged the tissue a bit accidentally, which really sucks. They may bounce back and that bit might die. I've had both happen before, but let's hope for the best. If not, it's okay if I lose one polyp here and there of some zoas, but obviously I'll try to avoid it. So like I said, make sure you're doing carbon. I've done quite a large water change just to make sure any negative effects are taken care of. So if you're new to the hobby, I strongly suggest that you watch lots of videos, wear glasses, even maybe a mask, just so because you really don't want the paleotoxin going into your bloodstream. So that means if you've got cuts on your hands and stuff like that, don't touch your face after you just touched the fish tank. Make sure you're wearing gloves. Make sure you're not letting your pets lick all your hands and stuff without washing them. And make sure you take lots of precaution. On a side note, it's really fun to do. It's really easy to do, and it could actually make you a little bit of money, which makes it really good for a hobby that's so expensive, just to get a little bit of money back and I guess reinvest and keep the hobby going, because it's not just about growing coral or just buying coral. It's about keeping it sustainable, stop taking from the reef, and just enjoying every aspect of the hobby. The longer I'm in this, the more and more I'm willing to take on. Maybe one day I'll even have clownfish to, well, I've got clownfish, but eggs to raise, and I'll actually do it. I've tried before, but it's really hard.